Hey, this is Sri Vishwanath here, and welcome to episode number 34 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath Vedanta Show. And today's video, we're going to talk about the fastest way to please God, part 4. So, if you've not watched the earlier parts, you can watch that. So, God, Ishvara, it's called Bhagavan. He loves direct ways, not indirect way like coming from the back door. Direct ways. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whoso offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I accept that which is offered by my devotee with single minded devotion. Leaf, flower, patram, pushpam, phalam. Leaf, flower, fruit, or water. All of that is, anyone can offer. With single minded devotion, I accept that which is offered to me with single-minded devotion. That's the idea. Direct ways. God loves direct ways. And so I'm going to share with you 3 beautiful verses of Adi Shankaracharya. These are direct ways, okay? So let's say your mind is disturbed or something is going wrong. You're trying to find a solution to a big problem, whatever. So the first thing which Adi Shankaracharya says is, and these are the exact words, so I'm not adding anything. It's just an English translation to this. And you just say this as is told by Adi Shankara. Why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the Atman? This is the first thing. If you say to yourself, now, why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the Atman? Now, this samsara is the world. Now, this first phrase, this first verse, why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the Atman? Because you are in a problem, your mind is disturbed. Why? Because you are in the intellect, you're thinking. So why do you think the miserable world, the samsara, all these issues exist in the Atman? So the idea is, it does not exist in the Atman. Now, when you say these first words, and I'm going to say the second and third, because together they give you the result. And the first thing that comes up is, I'm saying this, but nothing will happen. Now, here's the first lesson to learn. Who is this coming from? See, this is where like, for example, I used to read the Bhagavad Gita. When I started reading the Bhagavad Gita, I was excited. All these things, I'm getting to know all these things. And then indulging in reasoning and all that stuff. But first, who the hell has said that? It's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Who is Krishna? He's the Ishvara. God has said those words. So we have forgotten that. It's fine, he has said that, but I got to know what is happening. And what are you going to know? He has said that. First, at least remember that, from where it is coming. You see? People say, government said, put the mask on your face. Everyone puts the mask. It's come from the government. It's written in the newspaper. It's written in the television. Who are those people? We give them so much importance. It's coming from God. God? Who is it coming from? That's what it is. So, here's one important lesson. Why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the universe? You just have to say it as it is, because coming from Adi Shankaracharya, who was an incarnation of Shiva. Now, here's something very important before I proceed to this, is that where are we going wrong? Here's the thing. If you see what Adi Shankaracharya, they are not creating new things. They are only expressing what has already been told in a most direct way. And They are fine-tuning the visualization, the expression. Now today what people are doing? The people are doing their own version. What is your duty is to take the dharma which is there and to express it beautifully. Because your body is a musical instrument. Instead of that, people adding their own layers. Now look at all these spiritual jerk gurus. Oh, meditation, that kundalini, this rising, that mudra, this mudra. Oh, you sit and that is happening, this light. Who the hell is giving you permission to do all this thing? Was taught in India by the sages? They were direct ways. When you can knock on the door directly, all these indirect ways are going to please God. So Puri Shankaracharya says something beautiful. He says, if you want to study Dharma, you study Ram. It's called Ramo Vigro Dharma. Means Ram is the embodiment of Dharma. He's called Maryada Purushottam, Ram. So Maryada means one who has the audacity to practice Dharma. Only Ram. You and I we can only learn and receive. Oh, I'm going to do this. We are jivas. We can make all the big things. But at the end of the day, there is doubt. All these philosophy is not going to work when you're in trouble. So Maryada Purushottam Ram means Ram had the audacity to practice Dharma. And so when you follow him, that's why it's called follow. You have to follow, you have to train your intellect to follow Dharma. Follow Dharma means listen to the teachings. Listen, oh, it's coming from Krishna, it's coming from Ram, it's coming from Adi Shankara. That is where if you put your attention, you are way ahead of the game, way ahead. And once you listen, you receive it. See? Because then you'll, oh, it's come from him. Then you'll read it again. You listen to it again and again and again. And that is missing today. People want to do indirect ways and they think they're going to get to the goal. You have to knock at the door directly. Knock and ye shall receive. Why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the Atman? This is the first question. And when you say that, here's the thing, magic will happen. If you buy into all these things, who is telling that? Because in that word, the effect is already present. That is the secret. You don't have to add anything. You don't have to do anything. You see, if you see the Apple company right now, why are they the leaders? Because here's the thing, they are not screwing it up. Whatever was left by Steve Jobs, they are building on it, improving it, increasing the efficiency. They are not indulging in 100 million things. See, now if you take Shankaracharya and all the tradition where Puri Shankaracharya, Sringeri, they are continuing the tradition of Adi Shankaracharya. It's been 2,500 years, not a blip has happened in their whole thing. And this is very, very important to realize. They are not adding anything. They are fine-tuning the expression, which is, you can fine-tune in words, you can fine-tune in visualization. That's where superimposition all comes. That's what you have to do. You have to fine-tune your visualization, fine-tune your listening, fine-tune again reading it, fine-tune your visualization. Because if you do that, you will win hands down. Why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the universe? That's the first. When you say that, magic will happen. Like, this whole thing will disappear. Second, he says, objects exist in the intellect so long as the intellect exists. In the absence of intellect, it does not exist. Now, these are all high metaphysical things. So I'll give you the summary, but you don't have to analyze. Objects exist in the intellect so long as the intellect is present. In the absence of intellect, it does not exist. All the things, this world which we call so big, it's not so big. It's in your intellect. The moment you go to deep sleep, it disappears. That is the secret, that is the reality. You may think, oh, the universe is so big, my problems are so big. No, it's all in the intellect. That's why do you think the miserable samsara exists in the universe? Exact words. Objects exist in the intellect. Second, as long as the intellect is there, and the absence of intellect does not exist. So we are not changing the thought we are just disappearing the intellect. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Through the words, because it produces an effect. And the third, he says, what a wonder. One moment it was there, this world, the next it does not exist. See, it's gone now. You're free. You watch this video 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I'll tell you whatever problem will disappear, because these are not my words. I have just laid it all together by listening and remembering and putting all these things together. I'm just putting it all together. These are the three. Why do you think the miserable samsara exists in your Atma? That itself, your objects exist in the intellect. As long as the intellect exists. In the absence of intellect, it does not exist. It's disappear. You're disappearing the intellect, not the thought, feeling, world. No, disappearing the intellect. Third is, what a wonder. One moment, my mind was disturbed, or the problem was, next moment, it's not there. And then when you do that three, that's when you're in the art. That's when God's grace kicks in. That's when magic happens. That is what is called as dharma. Maryada Purushottamra. You and I have our job is to follow dharma. Follow, Follow, by worshipping God. Ram, he had the audacity to practice dharma and to tell us what is dharma. When you do this is the more direct way. Magic will happen. Whoso offers me a leaf, a flower, or fruit, I accept that is offered my devotee with single-minded devotion. So more of that in the next. If you want to shortcut all these steps and get faster to liberation, moksha, you can go to www.magicofgod.com, magicofgod.com. Till then, good night and God bless.